If your website isn't consistently bringing in construction leads for whatever niche you're in, then you're doing something wrong. And I'm going to set out exactly what you might be doing wrong and how you can fix it on your website. So your website, it could be costing you jobs. And here's a full breakdown of exactly how you can resolve this. And this is for business to business companies and business to consumer, contractors, builders, if you're renovating, roofers, anything like that, even electricians and plumbers. And most of you guys, you're invisible online. And it's not because you're doing bad work, but it's just because your website is silently killing off all the leads before you ever get that phone call. And you may think, well, we get all of our clients through referrals, but even referrals, they Google you first. And if what they find on the internet doesn't match what they've heard, then they're not going to call you. So I'm going to cover 5 website mistakes that are costing you contracts and how to fix each one. So here are a few facts for you before we get started. 75% of users judge a company's credibility by their website. Those are your customers who are judging you based upon your website. So just think to yourself, okay, if 75% of people are judging me via my website, am I happy with that? Am I happy with what they're going to see? So mistake number 1 that you might be making is that you don't have a clear message above the fold. Now, what does this mean? So as soon as someone clicks onto your website, that is what is above the fold, just to explain any lingo so you're not confused. Now, if what your company does isn't explained in that first section, then you're going to be losing out. If your webpage just says, welcome to Builders Inc., or you can trust us, you're just telling the visitor nothing, right? And if they can't tell within 3 seconds what you do, who you are, who you do it for, and where you work, then people are going to click off. And if you're asking for multiple calls to action, so let's say you've got your phone number there, and then you've got a contact form, and then you've got a link to somewhere else, and then learn more. You know, all of these buttons, they overcrowd and they just take away from what you actually want the customer to do. It takes away from what you want the site visitor to do. Why, at the end of the day, what do you want them to do when they click on your website? You want them to book a call with you or fill out a form, right? So, you know, you don't have above the fold on this first page all these links, all these learn more buttons. You just have one thing. Just do this one thing. If you fill out a form, I'll be happy. If you give us a call, I'll be happy. So pick one of those things. Don't overcrowd it. And again, if your image, your main image, is just a stock photo, it's not a photo of you or some actual work you've done. It just looks generic. People can tell. We're in 2026. People can tell these things. So you might be thinking, okay, well, how can I fix not having a clear message? And it's easy. There's a formula you can just use exactly here. So just say for your headline, what you do, who you do it for, and where you do it. That's it. Don't complicate it. Have one call to action button. So get quote or request a callback, not click this link and request a callback and fill out this form. Just choose one and be done with it. And your imagery, it needs to be you. It needs to be an actual finished project. You do work, don't you? So show it off. Why not? And if you have a sub headline, just have one sentence on your specialty or your unique selling point. Why should someone choose you? Maybe you're specialists in steel frame and groundworks, right? Across the Southeast. That is unique in a way. You've differentiated your company and yourself. You've shown that you're a specialist in steel frame and groundworks for this person and in this area. So you've already niched down. This is what you need to do. You need to answer the question that someone's asking as soon as they click on your website, which is this company the one I'm going to go with? And you need to answer that in under 5 seconds. The second common issue and mistake that you're probably making on your website is that you don't have any trust signals, right? If you're in the construction industry, whether you're doing business to consumer, business to business, or whether it's high tickets, low ticket, it doesn't matter. Construction is a high trust thing. You're letting someone into your house to fix something, or you're giving them a lot of money to build your house or to undertake some working. It requires a lot of trust. So if someone clicks onto your website, whether that be another company or a consumer, they see no Google reviews. You know, sometimes even if you have 50 stars on Google, sometimes people don't see it. They'll never know that you've got all those Google reviews if you never link to it in your website. They might see no past project photos, only stock images. They might be thinking, well, does this person even do their work? Or is this a fake company? You have no accreditations. How are they supposed to trust you? And you've got no logos of clients you've helped. They want to be reassured that you've done the similar work for somebody else. So here's what you need to do. You need to have a Google review widget. So just embed live on your homepage showing your star rating and real quotes. Have a before and after project gallery. It's not difficult. And if you don't have photos, start taking them. Any relevant client developer logos and accreditation badges, right? And this might sound complicated, but just ask your marketing guy. Just say, hey, I've noticed on our website we don't have this. Please, can you do this? Customers and clients, when they're looking at your website, they want to trust you. And you wouldn't give money to a stranger on the street, right? You wouldn't give a lot of money at least. And your client feels the same way. Trust signals, they're your proof that other people already took that risk and it went well. And it's so easy to integrate. Mistake 3 that you're probably making is that your website's slow and probably broken on mobile. So when was the last time you checked your website on mobile rather than on your computer? And that's what most people are going to be looking with, is through mobile. If your images are uncompressed and really high quality, then that's going to mean that it takes a lot longer to load. If you're doing some cheap hosting, again, that's going to slow down your website speeds. If your desktop layout doesn't adapt automatically to mobile, the buttons are going to be too small. So when you're asking someone to call, it's going to look weird, and that just immediately breaks trust. And it's also important to remember that Google uses page loads as one of their ranking factors. It's not the end all and be all, but it is one of them. So if you have a slower site, then less people are going to see you because you're going to be lower in the search results. And here are just some stats for you. There's a 7% drop in conversion per 1 second of load delay, which is just enormous. And if your website takes 3 seconds to load, 53% of mobile users are just going to not bother, which is massive. So in terms of how you can fix this, if you've noticed this is a problem for you, firstly, Google Page Speed Insights. I'll leave a link in the description so you can just find this and run your page speed. And all you need to do is put your URL in, check your score. If it's under 70, you've got a problem. Under 50 is a massive problem, but under 70, you need to get on this. And in terms of how you can actually fix this to increase your score, I would recommend you compress all your images. Just use tiny PNG. Again, it's free and I can leave a link in the description. Try to get a better hoster, SiteGround, Kinsta, WP Engine if you're on WordPress. And make sure you're testing every page of your website on your phone. Tap every button, fill in every form as a tester. You want to make sure that everything works. Mistake 4 that you're probably making is that your SEO just sucks, right? And this is important because if someone's searching on Google, you want to show up high so that someone clicks on your page and get that organic customer. So if you've got one services page which lists everything, Google doesn't know what to rank you for. So that's one of the mistakes that people make. If your page titles say home or services with no location, no keyword, then again, you're not going to be ranking locally as well as you could be. If you don't have separate pages for different service types, again, this is a problem. If you offer groundworks, if you offer fit out and steel frames, and you cram that all into one page, then again, your SEO is going to be suffering. You need to make sure you're claiming your Google business profile and verifying yourself. If you've got no photos, no services, and no reviews, then again, that's going to be harming your SEO ranking locally. And this is one of the biggest things, is having location specific pages. If you don't, then you're invisible to searches such as like groundworks in Surrey, for example. So here are a few quick wins that you can do to improve your SEO. Rename your page titles to, for example, service in Surrey. For each individual service you offer, you want to have a standalone page where you list exactly what you provide. And you need to make sure you have at least 500 plus words, because then Google can get more data on exactly who your service will be relevant to. And for each individual location and area that you serve, you want to have an additional page for that. You want to have your main page, and then you'd say if you cover Croydon, you cover London, you cover Birmingham, whatever, right? You want to have each individual area covered and another page for that individual area. So that if someone Googles landscaping, you show up as well. Your Google business profile, photo services, hours, verify it. And it's so important. You build a review process. Every client you finish should be asked, please give us a review, as long as they're happy, of course. In terms of priority, I know I listed quite a lot. Fix your Google business profile. That's so easy, and you're going to get massive return on investment there. Fix your page titles. Again, that's an easy win. Split your services into individual pages. Again, that's another easy win, and it will help a lot with your ranking. And make sure that your reviews, you get a system in place for your reviews. You want to call up all your past clients and make sure that they leave you a review if they were happy. And then you will automate your future reviews so that you just never have to think about it again. And if you're not sure how to do that, just click the link in the description or in the pinned comment, and we can help you with that. Now, the final and one of the biggest mistakes that people are making with their website, these construction companies, and you're probably making this, is you don't have a lead capture system. And it sounds so obvious, but so many people make this mistake. Your contact form is buried on a separate contact page. Most people never find it. Your phone number isn't clickable on mobile, which means that they've either got to have two devices or be looking at their computer and type in your number, or they need to hold it down, copy it, paste, go over to their phone dialer, then paste it into that app, compared to just clicking on the number and it automatically bringing up the phone number to call. You've got long contact forms asking for project details, budget, timeline, and you need to have a balance between here. If you're not getting any leads, really, you shouldn't be asking for all this detail here. You should just be asking for their name, their number, that's it, maybe their company name. Whereas if you're getting loads of leads, then sure, you can qualify people a bit harder, but first you need to get flow and then you need to get friction. And when someone submits, if you do have a lead capture system, when someone does submit, there's nothing telling them what's going to happen next. You need to have a page which explains what happens next. They can call you if they need something urgent, just something that explains the process of what they can expect. And this is one of the highest ROI things you can do. If you have, let's say, 100 clicks a month and 2% of those people are converting, that's 2 inquiries a month, right? If you can fix this, right, by spending an hour, 2 hours on your website, making sure it all works, it's all seamless, making sure that the call to action, for example, filling out the form, is just simple, easy, quick. And let's say you manage to get that to 5% conversion rate. Let's say you double that, just over double that. You've not spent anything else on ad spend. You've taken a few hours of your time out and you doubled the amount of inquiries that you are receiving. So you can see how the return on investment works with doing these things. So a few quick fire tips. You can screenshot this and take this for yourself, but have a sticky bar header. So when you scroll, it stays sort of like how the top here stays. Have your phone number and get a free quote visible so that every time they scroll, they can see this call to action. Your phone number should be clickable. It should be obvious, but it needs to be clickable. And when they submit, we'll call you within 24 hours. It's not difficult. So as a quick overview of all the things I've mentioned in this video, but fix your homepage headline, right? What you do, who for, and where. And remember, 1 CTA. You need to add trust signals, add your logo, add your accreditations, make sure you have reviews on there. You want to make sure that your web page is actually loading quickly. It's not just bloody taking an hour to load, right? This sounds obvious, but you'd be so surprised. Make sure your SEO is optimized, at least the basics. You don't need to do anything crazy. Just make sure your Google profile is set up, make sure you've got page titles, and make sure you have individual service pages. And make sure that when someone clicks on your website, you can actually get information. Have a sticky CTA, have a clickable phone number, and have forms on most of the pages, or at least a call to action on most of the pages. Now, if anything that I explained in this video sounds complicated, you're not sure how to integrate it yourself into your business, just click the link in the pinned comment and book a call with us and we can see if we can help you in your specific situation. And remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.